Hey everybody, welcome back. Dave, ABQ, SC, and C. We are about to close out another baseball week. We are ending it with not ending it, but rounding out the week with 1995 Topps Series 2. These have the Spectralite insert cards with Cyber Stats, Power Packs, and 95 Stadium Club first day issue cards. Nothing too much to note in this set, as there are 2 Cal Ripken cards that hold a little bit of value. That's really about it. No sponsors today. We will be going live tomorrow with 87 Topps. Opening up a box of 87 Topps, looking for Bonds, McGuire, Barry Larkin, and Bo Jackson. And tomorrow during the live stream, I will announce the rest of the football lineup for football week. Once again, shout out to our first ever Patreon member, C. Rogers. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. If you haven't done so, check us out on Patreon, ABQ, SC, and C, ANDC. We are on there. Check out the tiers. Let me know what you think. Even if you're not going to get in on it, just let me know what you think, whether or not I need to adjust anything. Your guys' input is greatly appreciated, so just let me know. All right. So I do have a Lotteria card to pull. We're going to pull that about halfway through this box. A bunch of you are getting closer and closer to winning that OBJ rookie card. We are flying by. Baseball week is almost over. 87 Topps is going to end it tomorrow. Going live probably about 5 o'clock Mountain Time. No more fundraisers for the year for us. So we'll be free on Saturdays. So look for us 5 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow. Adjust your clocks however you need to. This is 1995 Topps Series 2. Cal Ripken cards hold a little bit of value here, as we'll be looking for those. There are 2 cards in the set. Not a lot of value, but they do hold some. Just going to fix the box here. It does have a cardboard piece on the top to protect from anything, so we'll use that for our mailings. I'm going to start top left here. Ooh, those sounded heavy. Hopefully they're okay. This is the pack. It's after the strike year, so they used the cyber stats to simulate how the players would have finished off the year. This is the year after I stopped collecting, as the strike really not ruined baseball, but put me off on it. Like, I still watched the playoffs. I still kept track of how my team was doing. But in terms of the hobby, that's when I really ended. 13 cards per pack. It turned a lot of people off to baseball. First pack, once again, no sponsors. Cards are a little stuck again. This is pretty prevalent for this year's, well, not this year's, but this style of year's baseball cards. Here's what the cards look like. I'm pretty sure most of you recognize this. Mark Guthrie, first card out, top left. We got Chipper Jones against the Spectre card, it looks like. Chipper Jones. That's a cool looking card with the sky in the background. These cards are coming together a lot better than the 94s did for score. Troy O'Leary on the refractor. See, they simulated the rest of his stats through the 94 season. Jabs did Series 1 earlier this week. We are doing Series 2. Wes Chamberlain. Andres Galarraga, big cat there. Yorkis Perez, Rich Monteleone, JT Snow, longtime Angel, ended up going over to the Yankees. Got an on-deck card with a couple of rookies, I believe. Yeah, Carlson and Williams, neither one really did anything. Chuck Finley, Bobby Munoz, Kurt Abbott, I believe this is Jim's brother. Kurt Abbott and Mike Gallego. First pack down, no Wheel of Names today. As we did the Wheel of Names, my computer was acting crazy. I finally got it to get working right in 1994 score. So if you did not catch the Wheel of Names for last week's video, 1994 score series 1 is the video to watch to see if you won. We had a record 9 names on the Wheel of Names that day. Deion Sanders on the CyberStats card. A little bit of refracting going on with that. Prime time. Let's see how he would have done. 42 projected stolen bases, which is pretty high considering he only had 19, 19, and 26 the years before. So we got Casey Page, Greg Hamill, Brian Sakinski, and Rob Welch. They kind of did like how the year after did with draft picks, single A, double A, and triple A. Top draft picks, or top players in each class for that position. Sid Fernandez. Same card, same pack. Look at this thing. Too bad they weren't awesome. Reggie Sanders. Used to like watching him play. Cincinnati Reds, Reggie Sanders. Another Deion. This is his regular card. Tony Longmire. The names are a little hard to read. It might be showing up better on the video. On deck, Rod Bolton. Almedo signs. Almedo did a little bit. He played with the Dodgers, I believe. Mostly as a DH or pinch hitter. Hector Carrasco. Chris Hoyles, he was okay. Ricky Henderson, stolen base leaders. All time. Imagine what his stats would have been if he'd played the whole season that year. At this point in time, look at all that red for stolen bases. He had 1,117 stolen bases at this point. Bruce Ruffin and Robin Ventura. 95. Top Series 2. One pack with 2 of the same cards already. Not cool, Tops. All right. The on-deck card is for the Mariners. Dave Fleming. And Eric Young after going to the Rockies. After being with the Dodgers, I believe. Yep, Dodgers through their farm system, and then they had him go to the Rockies. Joe Bover left him unprotected. He ended up going somewhere else, and then he went right back to the Rockies. Pete Shork, Pedro Estacio. He's another one that went to the Rockies. I thought we should have held on to him. Darryl Strawberry, after leaving us, he went to the Giants. Spent a couple years, 3 years with us, horrible years. And 139 games the first year, was looking fantastic, and then went 43 games and 32 games. Injuries, issues, you name it, he went through it. On deck, Eddie Diaz and Desi Relaford. I remember Desi. Felix Jose on the CyberStat card here. Kansas City Royals. Mike Lansing. Prospects. Jason Camilli, Miguel Cairo. Cairo is okay. Archimedes Pozo and Kiovo Veras. On deck, Roger Cedeno and Ron Coomer. Roger was okay. He had a couple good years. Paul O'Neill. And all the people in the back with the Paul signs. That's kind of cool how they did that. Paul getting a couple rings with the Yankees. This was the last year for Don Mattingly. And when they were really getting going on the Yankee run, 96. So the following year was their first championship year. I always felt bad for Mattingly as they started doing good after he left. Ron Gant. Scott Erickson. The short sleeves. Looks like he cut them. Manny Ramirez, Gold Cup card. Manny ended up being decent. This is him with the Indians. As you can see, he was a lot bigger later on. Joey Cora. Kevin Mitchell. So the playoffs are in full swing. Carlos Rodriguez. It's going to be Dodgers versus Nationals, with Juan Soto getting the Nationals in. Larry Walker still with the Expos before he moved on to the Rockies. The American League game finished up with the Rays beating out the A's. My personal thought was that Fires or Fears, whatever he's going by, should have started that game. Like, I get it. Manea was 5-0 in his 5 starts, but he only had 5 starts throughout the whole year. Steve Finley, Jeff Blauser, and you could tell, like, when he was pitching, his pitches were flat, and they were keying in on them really, really early. I think the announcers really did a good job in letting everybody know that they were not going for anything inside the inner half of the plate. They were just keying in on everything middle out. But yeah, if you look at his pitches, Manea's pitches, they were really flat. Not a lot of movement on the fastball, so easy to key up and tee off on it. Albert Bell. By the time they pulled Manea out, it was like 4-0, and that game was done. Kurt Abbott. Great job by the A's. I called it earlier in the year. They were going to get 90 wins. Jim Bullinger. Not a lot of people thought it would happen. Mickey Tettleton. Todd Van Poppel. It was the battle of the money balls last night for the AL wild card, as those teams had some of the smallest payrolls in baseball. So we got David Bell. Aaron Boone's on this one. That one's all right. He was a 94 draft pick card. Now managing the Yankees. Danny Jackson. And our CyberStats card is Bruce Ruffin. On deck, Tony Graffinino. He ended up making the majors. And Damon Hollins. Rob Nen, pretty good closer. Pat Rapp. Another prospects card. This is Bell, Aaron Boone again. So same thing. Another pack with 2 of the same cards. Willie Banks. So I bought a total of 4 boxes of the 1987 Topps. We've already opened 2 of them on the channel so far. The first box we found a couple Barry Bonds, a couple McGuires, a Barry Larkin, and a Bo Jackson. And the second box, we did not find any of the Barry Bonds or McGuires. We did find a couple Barry Larkins and Bo Jacksons, but that was about it. So hoping for a happy medium in this box. If we find one of each, Been trying to do one of those boxes every other month. William Van Landingham. That was a long... Look how long his name is going on his shoulder there. Brady Anderson had a 50 home run year at one point, and Ricky Henderson again. Doug Jones, Cyberstats on the card. Sean Bergman and Shannon Penn. Bergman ended up being okay. Tigers on deck. Ricky Gutierrez. Jason Isringhausen and Chris Roberts. Isringhausen ended up being a pretty fine closer. Mets on deck. Kevin Foster. And Dave Justice. He was just coming up. Scott Erickson again. Steve Carsey. And we got a different card here. Let's see what this is. This is the Stadium Club. Vince Coleman on the Stadium Club card. First day issue Stadium Club card for Vince Coleman. That's what the back looked like. It's when they were using that TSC for Stadium Club. 3 packs left on the top left. So yeah, looking for good stuff in tomorrow's 87 Topps box. Got Sid Fernandez, Cyberstats card. Roger Cedeno, Ron Coomer again, Dodger prospects. Brett Saberhagen. Rob Nenigan. Mark Guthrie. Jeff Cirillo. Rusty Meacham. Ryan Nye rookie card. Draft pick for 94. Mark Whitten. On to the Cardinals on that one. Joe Bover. Joe Girardi. Tony Gwynn. It's when they were starting to heat up and play a lot better. And Dave Clark. It almost looked like a Barry Bonds at first, but that is Dave Clark. Rounds out that pack. 2 packs left, top left. 1995 Topps Series 2. Luis Soho. We got a Spike Owen here. Lou Frazier. Frazier's down. Steve Finley. And Pat Borders. Blue Jays and Expos had a great team the year before the strike. Paul Wilson, 94 draft pick. Don't remember you, Paul, sorry. Jeff Bagwell. Devon White. Eddie Diaz, Desi Relaford. On deck for the Mariners. Another Greg Jeffries. So we're still in the same stack, and we're already starting to see doubles. So we'll see how it goes here. 330 cards, I believe, in Series 2. Yorkis Perez. Darryl Strawberry. With the Cyberstats card. I don't know why they did that. He only had like 30-something games. They said he would have had 74. I doubt it. I really doubt that. Okay. He probably would have been right around 40 again. Yes, he was always getting hurt at that point. I mean, he got his ring. I'll give him that. But it really wasn't the same afterwards. John Olerud. Oh, let's see what they said he would have done. 316 after batting 363 the year before. All right, that's not bad. Rod Bolden, Olmedo signs again. Henry Rodriguez, another in the long line of Dodger Rookies of the Year. He was okay. He ended up going somewhere else. I can't remember. I think it was the Giants and playing really well for them. Tony Gwynn. Dave Fleming again. Jody Reed. Greg Colburn. Like, if Topps was smart back then, or even now, like, you would put pictures of the players on the cards with, like, superstars when they were standing next to them or having to play with them just to raise their value just a little bit. Because, you know, Trout cards are awesome. Roberto Alomar balancing the ball. Trout cards are awesome, or Judge cards are awesome. So if you put, like, a Bollinger next to us, like if you happen to have a picture of him next to Trout or Judge, why not use that and try to raise the value of their card up a little bit? Don Mattingly, Mike Kingery, like, just having that player on your card would put it up a little bit, as people would want the card with Trout or Judge on it, even if it wasn't like their card. All right, that's the top left. Topps 95, Series 2. Just putting these cards away, and then we will be moving on to the top right. All right, top right of the box. So that Alomar was the one that was actually on the box. The cover. Another Darryl Strawberry. This pack's coming apart a lot better. So hopefully this side of the box is going to be fantastic. Darryl Strawberry. Melito Perez on the Cyberstats card. Oh yeah, these cards are coming right off. John Kruk. Russ Johnson. So hopefully this will be the one where we find Cal Ripken. Chipper Jones. Mark Eichhorn. Danny Tartable. Jay Payton, he ended up being okay. Rookie card for Jay Payton. For a few years, and for the Mets, he was doing really, really well. David Wells with the Tigers. Look at this, C. Rogers. David Wells, Tigers card. Brady Anderson. Like I said, he hit 50. Is that on here? Nope, he had not yet hit the 50. This might have been the year. Got Ozzie Guillen. See, like, I'm talking about a card like this. Like, if it was with, like, Barry Larkin, where he was putting them out, that might, or Cal Ripken, that might have boosted his card a little bit. Jack McDowell and Cal Eldred. Like, the interactions don't happen a lot, but if you were to happen to, like, the Topps has access to so many pictures, it befuddles me sometimes, the pictures that they choose to use on these cards. It's like, you had to have had better pictures than that. Robbie Thompson, it's not like you're like, oh no, we need one of Robbie, let's go get one real quick, and then you use the worst one ever. Scott Livingstone. Dave Stevens. Here's Joe Girardi, Rockies days. Dave Hollins. On deck, Todd Green, Troy Percival. These both made it up to the bigs with the Angels, and I think Todd Green ended up going to the Reds. Sean Green, Toronto days before he came over to the Dodgers and was a cornerstone of our team. Danny Bautista, Todd Van Poppel, Vince Coleman, his regular card, John Hudek, and the gold card, a Detroit Tigers, Kirk Gibson, back with him in 1995. See, Rogers, I might just save this card for you. Kirk Gibson, 95, on the refractor there. Projected stats for the year, 280, 25 home runs when he hadn't really done anything like that. So this card's funny. All right, so I'm going to sleeve this up for C. Rogers. I don't know if he's going to want it, but me and him are fans of Kirk Gibson, so I think he'll appreciate this card as he was back with the Tigers at this point. I don't know, brother. Just let me know. I'm going to send it to you anyway. If you don't want it, you don't want it, but I think you will. Going to put Kirk in the back here next to Tommy Lasorda. How about that? How about that? Larry Walker. It's all the cards we had in the top left that we're all sticking. These cards are fantastic. So I'm hoping the rest of the box are just like these cards, because these cards are great. I'm going to say that, and the rest of the pack is going to be horrible. Watch. All right, Willie Green. Yep. Steve Bedrosian. Rafael Bornegal. Lou Frazier. Andy Bennis. Still hoping he was going to be something. And we got prospects. Ozzie Timmons, Curtis Goodwin, Johnny Damon. Johnny Damon's on here. And Jeff Abbott. 95 prospects, Johnny Damon. Billy Ashley, another one that the Dodgers thought was going to be awesome. So we got Pat Mears and Billy Ashley. He was actually on the cover of one of the boxes. Stadium Club, first day Stadium Club card for Jeff Bagwell. Part of the Killer Bees when they were in Houston. Tony Graffinino again and Damon Hollins. And a second card. This is Phil Leftwich for the Angels. Omar Dahl, another one I thought we should not have let go. We let him go to Atlanta. He pitched really good for them. Bob Wickman. Like at some point, and I think the Dodgers are doing this now, they are just being really picky about which prospects they are letting go of, because I think they'd seen in their past that they've let go of some really good players for some veterans that just weren't worth it. Randy Velarde again, you guys know the story on him. And now they're holding on to those prospects, and they're playing really good for us. I think we had the third or the fourth most players on the IL this year, and we are still blowing people away. Reggie Sanders, Andujar Cedeno. Whether or not it carries into the postseason, we will see. Braves Cardinals should be a good series. Tom Candiotti. I'm hoping that the Nats, like, my thought was that they were saving Strasburg. Draft pick Kevin Brown. Don't think this is the one I'm thinking of, though. Catcher, yeah, I know. A junior card, Ken Griffey Jr. Boom, sweetest swing in baseball, Ken Griffey Jr. Story on Ken Griffey Jr. is that his dad would pitch to him, and his dad was left-handed. So he grew up watching left-handed pitchers, which is the theory on why he was so good against lefties. He was already used to locating that ball from an early age. Greg Vaughn, that, and he hung around baseball when he was growing up and got to swing against all these guys. So he was already used to seeing that stuff. But yeah, so I'm hoping they wore out their best couple pitchers. So if we can get to that bullpen early and wear it out, we should be okay. On deck, Yankees. Andy Pettit on deck prospect card, and Ruben Rivera. Andy Pettitte was awesome. I don't know if this is his first year card or not, but Andy Pettitte. Todd Jones. Braves. Nomar Garciaparra draft pick card. Look at this. Nomar. Rick Wilkins. Braves are playing against the Cardinals. That should be a good series. Yankees Twins should be interesting. Both teams had like the most home runs in baseball this year. John Lieber, Sid Fernandez. Yankees having a bunch of injuries as well. There's Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken card. Finally getting to see his card. Cal Ripken, card number 588. All the Reds, mostly for games. 162, 162, 162. Yeah. The Iron Man there. John Patterson, Gold Cup card for the Giants. Kevin Stocker, another Jack McDowell. And the Rays are taking on the Astros. They might play them well. They had a fantastic game in the wild card, so it's going to be hard to see if they can keep that up or not. Dwayne Singleton and Jose Mercedes for the Brewers. Don't think any of them did anything. So it'll be interesting to see if the Rays can keep it up. The Astros are just a powerhouse, and they added Greinke. So it'll be very interesting to watch that series. Keith Williams, Dan Carlson, Jorge Fabregas, Isringhausen, and Chris Roberts again. Carlson and Williams look like we're getting a draft pick pack. And this one's interesting. Look at this. Sandy Alomar with the mask, all super close. Danny Nagel. Another Nomar draft pick card. Jim Leyritz. So I'm still picking the Dodgers to move on. I'm still picking the Astros to move on. It's just the other two games I'm not too sure about. The Yankees keep it up, Pudge and Kevin Mitchell. So if the Yankees don't get into their strikeout mode, they could be okay, but I think the injuries are going to hurt them. Twins have a good chance of moving on. And the Braves should take that series, but whether they... All right, James Mouton. Bernie Williams coming up. With Javi Lopez. Javi Lopez, Gold Cup card. And Bernie Williams. This was when said they started their run. Andujar Cedeno. Gary Sheffield. Another chipper. Uh-oh. Bob Wickman. Got you out of focus here. Another Kevin Brown draft pick. Greg McMichael. David Need. Another Joe Girardi. And last but not least, Roger Pavlik. 2 packs left for the top right. This stack has been 99% better than the top left stack. Sean Barry. Mark Guthrie. And Kevin Brown. There's a Kevin Brown I'm thinking of. Kevin Stocker. Derek May. And prospects again, Welch, Page, Sakinski. On deck, Mercedes and Singleton. There's a Carlos Delgado signing something. Kevin Brown again. 2 cards of Kevin Brown in the same pack. Greg Vaughn. Albie Lopez. And Marvin Freeman. Last pack, top right, coming up. So we did find one of the Cals. We found a bunch of these, the rookie card draft picks of Nomar. And we got a Stadium Club of Dave Weathers. Top Stadium Club, first day, with Scott Ruffcorn behind him on the... Oh, nope, that's not it. Just looks like it. Danny Bautista on deck. Desi Relaford, Diaz. Rick Wilkins. Another Pudge card. Pudge Rodriguez. Greg Gagne. Mike Gallego. Robin Venturas with Gagne here. I remember right, we ended up getting Gagne. Or did he go to the Angels? Nomar on deck, draft card. Phil Leftwich. And Eric Karros. So that was the top right. Way, way better than the top left. Gonna put these away. 2 more stacks left. Bottom left, bottom right. Going down memory lane with 95 tops. Series 2. Gonna go top, bottom left here. 87 tops tomorrow. Football week next week. Saturday for football will be the 2003 Jumbo Packs hobby box that we got. James Mouton. Leo Gomez. This one's kind of like the top left. Leo Gomez. Tom Candiotti. Reggie Jefferson. On the CyberStats card, Marty Cordova and Mark Barcelo, twins, on deck draft. Another Roberto Alomar, Joe Girardi, Nomar draft pick card, Tony Eusebio, catcher for the Astros. I remember that guy. Wes Chamberlain. John Olerud again, his regular card. Jose Lind, some people's favorite player. He was alright with Ripken. See, that's what I mean. Ripken's on the card. Danny Tardible. Probably raised his card a whole couple cents on the value. Yeah, it's probably not a lot. I'm just being silly. Like, if it does, though, they should do it. Why not, right? Sean Barry. Tom Gordon. Dad of D. Gordon. Bernard Gilkey. David Wells again. Lou Frazier. See, I definitely seeing a bunch of these cards over again. We haven't seen the Ripken All-Star one yet, though. Chipper Jones. Jose Lind. Sid Fernandez. Another on deck. This one is for the Marlins. Derensburg and Mark Valdez. That's the thing with an expansion team. Like, you have to have your farm system ready to go. Bernie Williams. So all that stuff needs to be in place. It's much, much more complicated than, like, an NFL expansion or any other team sports-wise. Jay Payton, there's so many levels to baseball that Pedro Martinez, CyberStats card, 2.99 ERA. They project him 16 wins and 6 losses. John Hudek. Yeah, there's just so much more that goes into expanding a Major League Baseball team than there is for a lot of other sports. Like football uses the NCAA, which California is talking about doing paying the NCAA players. Mike Gallego, and that sounds good, but I think a lot of people just saw it as the football players, but all the other NCAA Division I or NCAA players are going to want to get paid too. Omar Vizquel, Jim Leyritz, so you got lacrosse, you got volleyball, you got baseball, Dave Hollins, you got bowling, rowing, all those, track and field, Don Mattingly, all those guys are going to get paid too if they're just playing the football players. So it might be just my opinion, but it's going to cause a lot of the smaller schools to have to drop a lot of their programs. No, like hardly any, like, yeah, the bigger schools get paid for going to bowl games, for being on TV. But these smaller schools, they're not going to be able to do all that. Eric Young, Billy Ashley, JT Snow, CyberStats, and Todd Green and Troy Percival, California Angels, on deck. Like, yeah, I'm sure the theory on it was that the football players were the ones that needed to get paid, but if you do it for one, especially NCAA, you're going to have to do it for everybody. So we got one of the Topps Finest cards with Albert Bell on it. Came off fantastic too. Look at this thing. Albert Bell, I'm just going to sleeve this up real quick. I don't know. Randy, I randomly packed Finest cards, so this is one of them. This thing came out great. Whether or not it's anything or not, it still has that protective sticker on the front. That card looks fantastic, so I'm just going to sleeve it up. I brought down my thick sleeves for some reason, so I'll put it in a regular sleeve later. That's the only card that looks great. All the rest of them are just being crazy. All right, so prospects: Curtis Goodwin, Jeff Abbott. There's Johnny Damon again. Bo Jackson. Oh man, please don't be horrible on this. Please don't be horrible. Bo Jackson on the CyberStats card. DH outfielder. California Angel days. And Ken Griffey Jr. Bruce Ruffin. Melito Perez. Gary Sheffield again. Andy Venice. Jack McDowell. Diaz and Relaford, Mariners on deck. Jeff Cirillo. Manny Ramirez again. And prospects: Ray Ordonez, Mike Metcalf, Kevin Ory, and Ray Holbert. Halfway through the bottom left. Phillies on deck. Wayne Gomes and Kevin Jordan. Now Mark McLemore on the CyberStats, with Denny Nagel behind him. Bolton and Signs. Gallego. Is there one with him? There is one with him. So yeah, I'm sure a bunch of people don't agree with my assessment of the NCAA or the views on how the playoffs are going to go, but we can agree to disagree. Terry Bradshaw. Oh man, is this former NFL player Terry Bradshaw? It is not. Darn. Haha, just kidding. It would not have been Terry Bradshaw. That would have been funny though. Dave Stevens. So, okay, so speaking of Terry Bradshaw, I told you guys I watched his Football Life. It was fantastic. It was highly entertaining. And if he had come up nowadays, he would not have made it. Derek May. He went 6 touchdowns and 26 interceptions in his first year. Tell me any NFL quarterback nowadays that would have had those stats that would not have been like out of the league or a permanent third-string quarterback the rest of his career. 6 touchdowns, 26 interceptions, year number 1 for Terry Bradshaw. And they stuck with him. That does not happen nowadays. So think of how many guys were horrible. Erickson, that nobody stuck with, that could have potentially won 4 Super Bowls like Terry Bradshaw. Mark Johnson, I mean, the Texans stuck with David Carr forever. And that's kind of the blueprint nowadays. Like, they stuck with him. He never panned out. So now teams are more of a what have you done for me lately style. But Bradshaw, four Super Bowls, MVP in like one of them at least. 6 touchdowns, 26 interceptions, year number 1. Brett Butler, first time seeing his card. And Rick Wilkins, we've seen him before. Stadium Club card is Alex Cole. Scott Erickson again. Bob Wickman. I've been sitting on that, and I kept meaning to use it during a video for that Terry Bradshaw, and I could never, like, I'd get done with the video, and I'd be like, oh, I should have mentioned that. But yeah, no teams do that nowadays. You throw 6 touchdowns and 26 interceptions, you're done. Like, nobody's even looking at you anymore nowadays. Willie Adams, Scott Spezio was okay. Won a championship with the Angels. David Justice. Cyberstats card, Marvin Freeman. Jack McDowell. Belk and Watkins, Cincinnati Reds on deck. C. Elliott, you remember any of these guys? Brett Saberhagen. It's a cool pitcher. Mark Eichhorn. Looks like he's barely about to throw the ball. On deck, Astros. Rick Heisman, Roberto Pettigene, Kevin Stocker. Mickey Tettleton, Jim Leyritz, Carlos Garcia, and Butch Henry. 2 packs left, bottom left. Oh, let's see. William Van Landingham, longest name in baseball. Dave Clark. Luis Alicea. Gary Sheffield again. Pudge. Russ Johnson. Vince Coleman, regular base card. Yorkis Perez, card number 600. Normally they save the stars, or at least they used to for Topps, for the double O cards, but Yorkis gets it on that one. Eric Young, Ron Gant, Danny Bautista, Wes Chamberlain on the CyberStats card, and Brian Meadows, draft pick card for the Marlins. Last pack coming up, bottom left of the pile here. Found one, Cal Ripken. There's an all-star card with him and somebody else, but I haven't seen any all-star cards, so that might have still been Series 1. Tony Gwynn, Steve Carsey, and Doug Jones. Derek May again. That top right's been the best stack so far, so I'm hoping the bottom right's going to be okay. Javi Lopez, Gold Cup card. Like, some of these are coming out really, really well, but I'm sure you can tell some of them aren't. Pat Meadows, or Pat Mears, sorry. Henry Rodriguez. On deck for the Indians, Klein and Herb Perry. Back-to-back cards of the same card, Klein and Perry. Wow. Topps has been doing that. Jimmy Key, Derek Bell, infamously was the last strikeout in the 20 strikeout game for Kerry Wood. Corey Bailey and Scott Hatterberg. Hatterberg of Moneyball. Alright, that was the bottom left. We found that Albert Bell Finest card. We found the Kirk Gibson for C. Rogers. Last stack, the bottom right. Let's see what we get out of here. Spike Owen, Darren Oliver, Eric Anthony, Rick Wilkins, and Kevin Brown. On deck for the Phillies, Gomes and Jordan. John Briscoe, John Kruk. He seems to be getting crankier and crankier as they do games on ESPN year by year. I think he needs a break. He misses Kurt Schilling. Carlos Garcia, Carlos Baerga, Brian McRae on the CyberStats, and prospects, Jason Kendall, prospect card. Very nice. Kendall was a pretty good catcher. Pirates, A's, he could hit and catch. They probably converted him from another position. Royals on deck. Randa and Vitiello. Randa was okay. Greg Gagne, CyberStats card. Jose Rijo. Chris Hoyles. Prospects, Miguel Cairo again. Sean Green held the Dodger record before Cody Bellinger broke it with 49 home runs in a season. John Lieber, Jason Peterson, draft pick card. There's Derek Bell again. Carlos Garcia. Mark McLemore's regular base card. Mike Kingery. Pat Kelly is with Mark McLemore. All right, first pack down. Bottom right. Finishing up the box here. We'll see you guys Saturday for our live stream, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Cal Eldred, and then Sunday we'll be going through the pile of cards. Mike Piazza, first time seeing his card in this set. We'll be going through the cards again. Probably same thing after the morning games. I'll go live and we'll show off the cards from this week. Not as many as the week before, but we'll go live again. Why not? David Need, Colorado Rockies. Mike Magnani. Stadium Club card. Brewers, Pat Listach. That was when they redesigned their logo. Omar Dahl. Another of the Sandy Alomars. Willie Adams and Scott Spezio on deck. Another Eric Karros. Luis Alicea. John Burkett. And Bill Swift, both with the Giants. So if you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate any comments. Let me know what you guys thought. Give the video a thumbs up if you can. If you hated it, you're more than welcome to hit that thumbs down. Scott Livingstone. Willie Green, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're up to 123, trying to get to 250 for our next big giveaway. Jose Oliva. Doug Jones. Mark Wohlers, closer for the Braves. Brian Meadows, draft pick card. David Need, his regular card. Mark Clark. Cleveland Indians, Mark Clark. Tony Gwynn, we've got a few of his cards in this. Rich Rodriguez. Tony Eusebio. John Roper. Greg Vaughn. About halfway through this stack. Andy Pettit on the back of this one. Scott Lewis, Mark Lemke with Terry Steinbach. There's Andy Pettit on deck. Eric Anthony, Greg Gagne, Carlos Perez, Shane Andrews, Albie Lopez, Todd Jones, on deck with Jason Isringhausen, Robin Ventura. Some pretty good prospects coming up. Jose Leaned, and looks like our cyber stats is Mike Kingery. 4 packs left. On deck with Carlson and Keith Williams for the Giants. Our Cyber Stats card is Terry Matthews. Billy Brewer with the Royals instead of the Brewers, you'd think. Okay, so I was watching the minor league cards videos, and Mike Kingery, his regular card. And is it me, or should, like, the Milwaukee Brewers have drafted Beer? Like, that would make a whole lot of sense to me. Scott Ruffcorn, like just the PR in that, selling beer jerseys for a Milwaukee Brewer team. Joe Randa, Joe Vitiello, like I would have brought him up just for 1 year just to sell those jerseys. Rafael Bornegal, like they would forever sell those jerseys if they would have had beer on that team. So Milwaukee Brewers, I know you don't watch my channel, but if you do, great PR for you guys to trade for that beer kid. Send him up next year for the September call-ups and sell the heck out of some beer jerseys. John Olerud, Bobby Munoz, Mark McLemore. 3 packs left. Uh-oh. 95 Series 2. Tony Longmire. Mike Lieberthal with the cyber stats of Jorge Fabregas. And Kevin Brown. Catcher, not pitcher. Larry Walker again. Greg McMichael. John Jaha. He was okay. I probably say that in like every time we pulled his card. Another Mike Piazza. With somebody else here. With Moises Alou. 2 great players for their time. John Patterson, Gold Cup card. Piazza's arguably like the best offensive catcher. I know that's weird since he was a catcher, but he had like the best hitting stats at catchers. Kendall was okay. 2 packs left. Kind of slowed down at the end of his career for Jason Kendall. Jose Mercedes, Dwayne Singleton, but like you're a catcher, it's going to happen. Bob Wickman, Cyber Stats card. There's the Bo regular card. That's the first time seeing that for us. Bo Jackson regular card. John Lieber, Scott Livingstone. Carlos Delgado again. Dwayne Ward, Greg Vaughn, Rod Beck, pretty intimidating in his day. Jose Oliva, Pete Shorrock, James Moutone, and Kevin Mitchell. Last pack coming up. Last pack coming up. Got that Nomar draft pick card again on the very back. A Steve Finley on the cyber stats. Jose Valentin. Another Stadium Club coming up. If I can get this one taken apart. Pat Mears. Bill Gullickson on the Stadium Club. Phil Leftwich. Last pack. Jeff Facero. Ooh, I forgot to pull the Lotteria card, huh? Alright. Andy Pettit. Ryan Thompson, I'm sure most of you are yelling at me through your TVs. You forgot about Lotteria. I did. I'm sorry. Terry Steinbach. Jeff Blauser. Sean Berry. I'm glad I looked over and saw the cards there. Bernie Williams, last card, rounding us out here. All right, so let's go Lotteria. These are the cards that are left. Some of you are super, super close. So we're shuffling up here, and we are going to go with this one. Lotteria card. La Sandia. Watermelon, La Sandia. 28 on your Lotteria cards. And we'll do a consolation prize for those of you that hung around this long. I know some of you were hoping for your Lotteria cards. My apologies that I forgot about it. So I tell you what, we'll do Wheel of Names for the Albert Bell Topps Finest. He came out fantastic. So Wheel of Names on Monday's video for Albert Bell Topps Finest. This card is pretty fancy. Corners are great. Number 2 on Topps Finest. So if you're still around, let me know you want Albert Bell, and we'll do a Wheel of Names on Monday for him. Thank you all for sticking around. Appreciate you all. You guys are great. Drop some comments. Give me a like. And we'll see you guys tomorrow live for Topps 1987. Looking for Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Barry Larkin, and Bo Jackson. All right, guys. Thank you again. Stay safe and have a great night. Bye.